No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave. What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
Not bad.
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast.
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Gone. Good for you. He, however, was lost to the waves. It's been quite a while now. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles. Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue. Let's see. Who are you looking for? Yeah, I'm not really looking for that anymore. Not much into the middle-class ones either. Could do with some landed gentry, but apparently they don't make those anymore. Wish I could help you with that, but I haven't seen your working-class husband. Maybe I can help you.
She seems genuinely sorry for not being able to help you.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate? Aha! Like snowmen. Two odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like. Right. Not only snowmen, also green men. Don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen? Well, how can I assist you then, officer? Oh? Well, how can I assist you then? Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff. I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her. This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
I know about those human body. No, I don't think I can. I mean, I have like case investigating a mine. Why would I need a mine? Drug? No.
And go where? The fish are plentiful here and we get enough orders to get by. It's not great, but it's something. People imagine picking up and finding something better is an easy solution. But how is that supposed to work when all your time and energy goes to staying alive? You have almost nothing to set aside to actually fight your way out.
Hordes of wild, homeless people roaming the lands. Nomads scattered across an endless plain. In a dystopian world where tear is the only valid currency, and people eat each other to stay alive.
I don't mean to complain about my pauper life. We are warm and fed here and... I don't know. There's just something about this shithole.
scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual, even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense, meaning this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire, something you don't see these days. The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain...
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet, no sound, no movement.
Why they blindfolded? Oh, they... Wait, actually DC, huh? Huh. What's like... Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Twitch, but... No, it's like my internet problems, right? DC like 18 minutes ago, but it's okay. What I'm trying to say is like, why were they blindfolded before they were executed? In my sort of Google it, right? So let me touch my phone. Blindfolded executions. Oh, excuse me. In summary, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Kind of weird, you know. So meant as a kindness, but then never like be in a war or like saw executions myself. Like how bad could it look? But no, I'm not interested. But then, yeah. It's an answers.
10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands. Snowflakes fall on the wooden planks and the surrounding sand dunes, covering the land with the white of innocence. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains. The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Ordinary people, familiar, each and every one of them. Foreign dissidents, unwashed criminals, and hoi polloi. Such is your belief, officer. Maybe you should change it. They were praying, screaming. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which? The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last. It could even have been the employees of the failed R&D center down the coast, as their building was taken over by the revolutionary.
Or maybe...
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
A cold sea.
Set.
You see, a once bright mural towering, a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now,
Looks like tomorrow never came.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Hailostam. You must be Kim Kituragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks. Oh, yes. So, Mikhail, they had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall. No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been...
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D.
Hold on. What's R&D? It looks old and weathered. With
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore. You're probably more familiar with RTD.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer. They started out as a midway. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. It was here in Martinez, an elegant folding mechanism of roll, which is a feat of engineering. Indeed.
Oh
What?
my god, historic.
Revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's moved to Revachol. All of this was built by Feld, even a boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. Yes, they even built a...
A pleasure wheel?
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global... Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now...
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
Tape computers. They used them for military communications, but also to write... What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies.
A short-lived legislative foundation.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Rivers. I tried to get Mikhail to...
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this.
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely...
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a...
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dom. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Joost?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
Actually, I think there is. No, it's too much. He's joking.
In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project. Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to
they
imagine
still
the
talk so much.
revolutionary setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The felt playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07. Yes, the official name of the prototype. Who knows? Maybe it was an accident. But of course, what else? Sure, what's on your mind? But of course, what else? I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important.
He's not gonna give you money. What do you do? No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms. I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
I do some lomantang stick fighting now and then.
Lo Mantang stick fighting is a form of martial arts originating from the island of Lo Mantang. It uses slender wooden sticks for confronting the opponent.
Actually, a great many cultures have their own version of stick fighting.
You doze off as he paint. Man, he's good at speaking. People.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying? Lomantang stick fighting is a little like a...
Wait, what does this man know about pyrrolidon addiction?
You got me, detective. But my history should hardly come as a surprise.
Here's a former junkie. I can recognize when I see it.
Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that and a special costume.
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a meditative quality. Helps to clear my head. But anyway, I do have...
He's not. No, I mean, come on. You need.
Of course, I don't know if you've... If not...
Forget it. They don't sell those.
No, thanks.
Pick your. The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of dripping waterfall. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea.
No, I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad. Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses.
I think that might be it for today. 6 hours something. Yeah.